Oh, well, good morning, everyone. To you, good afternoon, good evening to me over here. Hope I can make this enjoyable for you. It's in reply to one that Bert did from my club over here, and I promised that I would come back to him and give him a demo here. So the first thing I'm going to do is show how I make a screw chuck like that. Now you can buy screw chucks, but normally when you buy them, they have something like a 3/16 quarter-inch bolt through them. This is for doing small stuff like apples or pears. That's just a felt disc so that when you reverse the apple or pear, you've got a nice surface for it to sit on after you've sanded and polished the first part of it. So just to show how I make that, I'll you'll have to excuse the noise because the lathe is 1984. I'm just going to round it off. This is just a scrap piece of yew that I found. I'm not too worried about how accurate this is at the moment. All I'm trying to do is to get it to the round. Right, that'll do for the moment. I'm just going to put a chucking point on this end. When you're making this, it's not a quick.
So your
I'm going to
noise
turn it.
canceling of your equipment is working well because we don't hear the noise from your lathe, which is okay, but we can hear you
Oh,
talking perfectly.
oh, that's good.
Hmm.
I was a little bit concerned about that. Uh, Used a little step center. It's a half-inch one, as opposed to the inch one. At this moment in time, all I'm interested in is getting it round and then facing off and putting a half-inch hole in it. Just set. Now, of course, when I'm doing these demonstrations, I'm normally talking to the beginners of clubs, um, not good guys like you, like Jeff and Stu and Diane. I've seen your work, it's good. I'm just going to face this off. This might seem a bit strange, but I'm going to put a chucking point on this because this is the end that will be the finished chucking point in the lathe. Now the next thing is 1/2 inch drill. Now the 1/2 inch drill that I'm putting in is purely for clearance of the screw head. I'm not going to turn the lathe down because I'm not going in very far. Just a little bit deeper. Now I'm going to turn it round and start to now it's important at this moment that when you get this screwed up, I've got to move the computer a little bit. Oh, that's the trouble with these old-fashioned chucks. They've got 2 keys. I think when I come to take this chuck off, I'm going to have a bit of problem. Now, on my chuck here, I've got a little. You can just see it. See that little white bit? That is actually a hole. Now, what I do with my very short pencil, mark the chuck, because that now will always be put back in that position when you come to use the screw chuck. Move that out the way. That's about right. Going to take off this chucking point now. I'm just slightly concaving it. So there's still a little bit there to take off. Now's the time to drill the hole which takes the screw. Don't drill it before you've turned it round, because if you do, you won't be necessarily dead centre to the piece, because the chucking point you used was just a rough one. This is the most important part. Again, now the next bit I'll show you, but I'm not going to be able to mix up the epoxy because it'll take too long to dry. So I'll explain it to you and you can see why. So now we have a hole with a hole through the middle. We take our screw and we put the screw in, and what you do is you put your screw in until it's just touching your finger at the point here. You put some epoxy in the hole and you pull the screw down to it, fill it with more epoxy and put a piece of tape over it so that whilst it's setting. Then you put it back in the chuck at the point on those marks that I said. And this is where you've got to make certain that you're not going to want to use your lathe for a quarter of an hour. So I'm going to put that back in there. Now, the drill press. This, of course, will be held normally. Come on. Oh, no wonder it's not locked in. It's playing up. Usually does. Come on. It goes down to a 1mm screw hole. When you've got that on tight, you then just wind your tailstock back until you feel the friction of the pull, and you just hold it there until that epoxy's gone off. Once the epoxy's gone off, you remove the drill press, which I'm puzzled by not working. It's working now. So you put it on, you pull it out, you leave it to dry. Once it's dry, remove your drill press and take it off the press, the chuck. I keep thinking someone's going to come through the door, but it's me.
So that just ensures that the screw is actually dead center on the chucking.
That's right, because although you might think it's parallel when you put it in, it's amazing how far off that could be. But by using your drill chuck and cramping that screw and pulling it back, you're going to be center, because people do make them, and John Bigler's one of them, says he ever makes them and they never run square or true. So I'll put this one on. It's that's making it look odd, but it is round and it is running true. So next thing in, we're going to do block of wood. And if anybody is interested, I can send you, Bert, this screw chuck, apple, pear, stems, earring stand, and a truncheon keyring.
Perfect. If you send that to me, Don, I'll attach it. I'll put it in the video when I edit it. I can actually add that to it. What kind of wood?
It's an old chair leg.
A Windsor chair. Windsor wood.
Well, it looks like Oroco, but I'm not sure. This piece of wood is roughly 3x3x3. So we turn it to the round. Right, we got it to the round. Now we got to start the shaping of the pear. Camera moved. There we are. Right. Now, as I've said before, we can use, or I can use 2 or 3 different tools. I'm going to have to turn it round. And the tool I'm using is the Spindle Master at the moment. Do the same thing with a spindle gouge, which gives me the we come round into the bottom of the apple. Turned over to a very small spindle gouge. I've gone into the base of the apple. Now I'm going to stop it now again. And now I'm going to put the hole to the bottom for everything okay so far? Is it making sense?
Yeah, looks good, Don.
Sure.
You might want to explain about your spindle master tool, because I'm not sure everybody over here actually knows what it is.
But somebody's saying something.
I was just saying, Don, you might want to explain your spindle master tool, because I'm not sure everybody here understands the difference. If you can show the difference between the spindle master and a spindle gouge.
Right, will do. Spindle gouge, profile gouge, whatever you like. This one is 3/8, but this is the spindle master. Highly polished on the back and flat on the front, and it's a bit like a skew, but you haven't got the chance of getting a catch. You can if you've got it too low, but that is a spindle master. Robert Sorby made them, and when they first brought them out over here, they said that if you had to sharpen it, please send it back to us. We'll send it to you, get it sharpened and send it back free of charge. But I think that stopped after a while because they realised they were losing money, like all big businesses. You can't see my body, unfortunately, but what I'm doing, I'm bringing my body round. My hands are not leaving my side. Right. I'm going to sand and polish this, which should take a few seconds. I use my little dollies, wooden pegs, put into a piece, so that when you're doing a demo, go on, back you go. Don't play up now. There we are. So when I'm doing a demo, I don't have to do what a lot of demonstrators do. They pick up a piece of sandpaper. Oh yeah, that's what I want. And then they put it down and pick up the next one and do the same. All I do is pick up the first piece I want. Second piece. Third piece. That was 320, 400. $600. Now bear with me just a minute. I forgot to pick something up. I've got to find them. I take it you're all au fait with the snooker table, are you?
A snooker table? What?
Snooker table, billiard table, whatever. Snooker. No?
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, on the snooker table, you at the starting end, you've got a D, and on the D, you've got God bless you. It's a good way to remember these web wax. So you start off with the God, then you go to bless, and then you go with you, and it gives you a nice finish. Now this pot here
can't quite see it. You got to move it into your camera. Okay.
It's a pot. Put it that way. Except it's upside down because of the camera. But that pot should be up the other way, and if it falls over, it doesn't fall out, because inside you have a funnel, and that prevents the stuff from coming out.
Good tip. Where do you get that particular container? Is that something you made?
No, it's plastic. Over here you can buy them.
What are they called?
Paint pots. They are
Okay.
actually a paint pot. But normally, this one, what I'm going to do, make this a little easier for the moment, I'll come back to the integral. That's the pot.
Okay. Yeah.
And the pot comes with the lid. I drilled a hole in it so that the brush goes in, and the brush then doesn't harden up either. So you've got two things. You don't pull it too much. I don't know if you can see that line just there, but that's as high as I ever fill it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go back to the camera. Oh, your battery's running low. Better switch on quick then. I thought I had. Right, we go back to that camera. Yep. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of
So what's your polish you're putting on there now, Don?
sorry, Bert.
What was the polish? What was the material you're putting on?
That was mixture of sander sealer, 50-50. I've just got hearing aids, and I thought I'd hear better, but it seems to have gone quiet. Lebron. Now, unscrew it. And I think I put the wrong drill in. Yes, I did. Bear with me. Right. I just got to take this bit of felt off. Now, as I said, I might have trouble now because my chuck swam back on again. And as I said, that's what I've got. There we are. I didn't. So I'm just going to change to another screw chuck. See if it runs true. I didn't think it would. That's the trouble of using the wrong chuck. Or the wrong screw size in the other end.
Well, that's typical of for recovery when things that's the real world. That happens in a shop. So don't feel bad.
Yeah.
That's great. This is the real world. It's not like we haven't done that ourselves at a time or two.
Right, let's see what happens now.
You could use your tailstock to center it before you tighten, and that would make sure it's on center.
Yep. You were reading my mind, Bert.
Well, they say great minds think alike, but they also say fools seldom differ, so I'm not sure.
As I say, this lathe I bought in 1984. And it was a demo lathe that somebody had presented to them. Well, it was actually a proper lathe as a demonstration piece from the company to this bloke. And he had it in his shop, and it's what he taught pupils on and tried to sell the lathe to them. And in the end, he got fed up with it and offered it to me for 500 quid. I knocked him down to 400, and he accepted it. And I thought, that seemed too good to be true. I wonder if this is his lathe. So I contacted the company. When I told him how much he wanted for it, they said, bite him off the elbow and get out there quick. So I did. Right. I'm now going into the top of the fruit to where the stem goes, or the stalk. Picking up the small one again. Just doing a little bit of a shear cut there to come round. Again, I don't have to look at the paper. I can just go straight into the pot. All the time I've been doing this, uh, when I've got somebody actually beside me, I would tell them more about the stance and the body positions, because it's a lot of people, when they start, thinking they got to do this, but turn their hands, whereas it's all body movement.
So Don, there was a comment in the chat that said your spindle master is almost like a continental roughing gouge, only it's flat, right?
Yes, yeah, that's right. The first day I had the opportunity to use one, I was at a local, well, I say local, store. The chap used to be a member of the club, but he had his own wood yard, and he started off a shop selling all wood turning craft stuff. And I was there one Saturday demonstrating, and he said, "Don, I've just got this new tool. What do you think of it?" I said, "What the hell is it?" He said, "It's called a spindle master." I said, "How do you use it?" He said, "Don't ask me." Well, I went down and I started practicing, and I've done exactly what I've done today. He had 12 in stock. By Saturday lunchtime, he had none. So I walked away with quite a nice bit of wood, thank you. Well, as I said, God bless you. This is just over here. I've got Mylands. There's a company that makes all different finishes. And when I bought this, I bought it as a gallon can, and it cost me £19. It now costs 95. Right. Well, there's the apple half made. Oh,
So do you turn a stem, or do you just go into your garden and take a piece of a branch off one of your local
I'm going to
shrubs?
turn a stem in a minute, Bert.
Okay.
So there's the start of the apple. Back into camera mode. It's that one. Yes, it's that one. Now, I can now turn a pair, if you like, so that you can see. What's the time? Blimey.
I'd say go ahead and make the stem, and then we can move on to the earring stand. I think would be a good plan.
Okay, I'll do that then, Bert, because the apple and pears is the same, except you've got a different thing of doing it. But the earring stand takes a little longer, so we'll go from here. I'll just make the
stem. Yeah. So Don, there's a question on the chat about what are the God bless you pads? What are they actually doing? Is it the colors that you're of your abrasive pad that you're using?
Yes, they're NIWeb. They're called NIWeb.
Oh, okay. And the different grits are the different colors?
Yes, they're different grips, and they take off a lot of the dust and that, because if you use the cloth doesn't really remove it, whereas that also burnishes as well as taking all the dust off as you go
Oh,
along.
okay. And the
Yeah.
is the green, brown, yellow are the different grits?
Yeah, but you can also get white, which is up about 1200 grit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh, what was I going to do? A stem.
The stem.
A stem. Where's the piece of wood for the stem? Oh, I'll use one of these. Oh, I better use a chuck too, hadn't I? So I've got a piece of wood here, approximately ½ inch square, and again, I'm just going to turn it round. That wasn't any good, was it? Just checking that the chuck's on.
Mhm.
Start to come off. Whoops. Right. I'm going to round off the end. I just removed the tailstock. It's just going to take that down a little bit more. Just change the chucks again for a minute. I've now got another homemade piece, again, piece of wood with one of the pad sanding with the hook and eye. Oh, getting too old.
Your legs are too long. It's too far to the
Only
ground.
18,
Yeah.
only 18 days to go before I'm 89.
You're doing well, Don. You're doing well.
Right. Now, I'm going to take this. And put a little flat on it. Got to open that hole up.
We can't see what you're doing yet, Don.
No, it's all right. I'm just changing the drill on the hand drill. Okay, where are we? I'm just going to open up the hole. And then I will super glue that in.
And you have an apple.
Not quite. I will do in a minute. Super glue. I'm putting a little bit of super glue in that hole. And with a little clove, put that in there. A little bit of super glue again. And push the stalk home, and you've now got yourself an apple with a clove in the bottom.